Welcome to this motivational, inspirational channel for enlightenment, for empowerment. I'm going to empower you during this episode on how to prepare for examinations, on the art of studying, on the tricks and tips to tackle the problem of forgetfulness, to teach you how to remember, how to memorize, how to score marks, how to secure best grade in examinations. I am prompted to share with you these insights because of a personal experience. While being the principal of a college, I was shocked to find a girl, a student, coming out of an examination hall after the university examination in tears. I called this student personally and asked her what went wrong with her. With tears in her eyes, she said, "My examination was a fiasco. I studied everything, but I forgot. I couldn't remember. I couldn't recall. I forgot everything" is a normal response of several students to parents, to teachers, to companions. Scientific studies have been carried out across the world on the way students prepare for examinations, on how we can retain memory, on the problem of forgetfulness, on the way our brain functions. What are the findings of these studies? Studies have proved that only 10% of what we read is remembered. We remember only 20% of what we hear. We remember only 50% of what we hear and what we see. We remember 70% of what we speak, what we share, what we explained to someone. And we remember 90% of what we speak and what we do. This is a warning. This is a big revelation. We remember only 10% of what we read. I am afraid most of the students who prepare themselves for examinations, SSLC, +2, or university examinations, the one and only method adopted by them to prepare for the examinations is reading. Let's go back to that girl who broke into tears. The first question that I had addressed was this: how did you prepare for the examination. She said, I was awake whole night. I did not sleep because I was immersed in my preparation throughout the night. This is a very dangerous common phenomenon. Why is it a very dangerous method? Unfortunately, all those who keep themselves awake the whole night before the examination will fail to remember during the examination because the brain was exhausted. The brain was overworked, and therefore the brain cannot remain fresh during the crucial 3-hour or 2-hour examination. Rest is a must for the best. At least 6 hours of sleep on the previous night before the examination is a basic requirement for quality performance in the examinations. The first step in preparation for the examination is to get the syllabus of the subject prescribed. With the syllabus before you, you need to ensure that you have notes as per requirement. Together with the syllabus, the question papers of the previous examinations should be collected, should be verified, should be checked to understand the pattern of the questions. In general, the papers prescribed as part of syllabus for examination can be categorized into two: theory papers, problem papers. The theory papers normally will carry in the question paper essays, short notes, and objective questions, one-word questions. The problem papers will carry problems which require thorough knowledge about equations, about formulas, how the formulas need to be applied, need to study theorems, need to know the series of steps involved to prove a proposition. Whether it is a problem paper or a theory paper, a scientific method is a basic requirement. After having gone through the question papers, having understood the pattern adopted in the question paper, I need to make sure that the required notes are in my notebooks. Verify whether anything is missed out. If I have a big dream, if I have a target to score A grade, A plus, if I wish to be a university topper, if you intend to be a rank holder, it is not enough to study only what is given, offered by your teacher. Based on the syllabus, going through the books recommended for further reading. Depending on online resources, internet, I need to collect additional information on the topics covered by the teachers. Because to score A grade, to score A plus, to be a topper, your answer sheet should be unique, should be special, should be extraordinary. If your answers are the answers found in all other papers, the marks that you are likely to score will be normal. Extra reading, extra information is a basic requirement for exceptional, extraordinary performance in the examination. How should a person study? Study is an art. Studying is a science. Study demands discipline. Study demands diligence. Study demands a system. Study requires persistence, perseverance, determination. A person who is serious about his or her studies should ensure that the study room has the conducive ambience for concentration. Ensure that there are no areas for distraction. The place that you choose to study should be free from noise, should not steal away your attention. It is not enough to have a conducive atmosphere, ambience. Whenever you sit and study, you should have a pen or a pencil. You should have a rough book. You should have papers. Why should you use pen, pencil, papers, rough book? The best method to prepare for examination, the best method to be fully concentrated is to engage yourself in writing. All those students who complain about the problem of concentration has this solution: engage yourself in writing. All those who complain about the problem of sleep, whenever I sit and study, I fall asleep. The medication, the solution, the treatment is to engage yourself in writing. The method that I propose is not writing and studying. My proposal is to study and write. While being immersed in reading, in the first phase of the preparation for the examination, you should prepare, you should arm yourself with short notes. I asked the girl who had broken into tears after the examination, "Do you use short notes?" She said, I don't have short notes. What is the purpose of short notes? When should short notes be prepared? Short notes are prepared while we are in the first phase of our preparation for examination. While studying an essay or a short essay for a theory paper, after reading a couple of times, identify the definitions, identify the key points, identify the quotes, identify the names, the years that you ought to remember. Everything that you are likely to forget should be in the short notes. Everything from the text or from the notebook which has to be reproduced in the answer sheet during the examination should be in the short notes. The short notes should carry whatever is likely to be forgotten. Short notes are to be used frequently for revision. Short notes have to be written neatly, clearly, artistically for frequent use. If it is a problem paper, the equations should be in the short notes. The formulas should be in the short notes. The theorems should be in the short notes. The series of steps to prove a proposition, the chain of thinking, reasoning should be in the short notes. After having prepared the short notes, the intensive study begins. Memorization begins. After having read an essay a couple of times, a theorem few times, when you feel confident that you will be able to write and reproduce whatever was studied, you should close the textbook, close the notebook, leave aside the short notes, and take a sheet of paper and verify, check, conducting a self-test in your own study room. While doing the self-test, while answering an essay, while explaining a theorem, you will get struck. You will miss some points. You will struggle with some spellings. You will not be able to use the exact vocabulary of the definition. You are likely to forget some parts. What should you do? Write what you know. After having completed this process, take the short notes, restudy whatever you had missed, whatever you had mistaken. If you follow this method, if the same question is going to be asked during the actual examination, you will remember first what you had forgotten and restudied while doing the self-test in the study room. And all the other ideas will naturally flow. Preparation of short notes is a serious primary requirement for a student. Let me come back again to this girl. She did not have short notes. I asked her, why didn't you prepare short notes? She said, I normally don't get time to prepare short notes because I have the habit of studying only in the nick of time, only just during the days of study leave. And I struggle to complete the syllabus. This is a common phenomenon. Students have constraints of time during the study leave to prepare short notes. And therefore, the preparation of short notes should be done much before the days of study leave. Why is the preparation of short notes very crucial? The best shortcut to revise 300-page notebook or textbook is to depend on short notes, because short notes carry everything that you need to remember. The definitions, the quotes, names, years, equations, formulas, theorems. Just before entering the examination hall, you have revised, you're thorough, and your mind will be at ease. You will be confident to write the examination. Do you frequently have recall test? What is a recall test? Everybody forgets whatever was studied after a day or two. How can we handle this problem? After taking bath, when you are physically, mentally fresh, when you come to the study room, close your eyes, relax for a while, recall whatever you had studied 2 days ago. While doing this recall test, you will realize that some of the important points that you had studied thoroughly were forgotten. What should you do at that point of time? Whatever was forgotten could be referred to in the short notes. After spending a whole day in study, while being on bed, getting ready to sleep, recall the key points, definitions, formulas, equations. You may not be able to remember. You don't have to get up and check the short notes. The following day, when you are at study, identify whatever was missed. Teach someone what you have studied. Students in general have a misconception, a preconceived notion that teaching another student is a waste of time. This is a misjudgment. Teaching another student is the most effective treatment for problem of forgetfulness. In every batch, there are some students who battle with some difficult papers, who require more time to grasp, to understand, who require more simplification. If you take up the responsibility of helping, assisting, guiding, explaining, teaching these intellectually weak students, you are helping yourself. You will remember all what you explain to your companions to your friend in the examination hall. This is the scientific explanation of the declaration. We remember 90% of what we speak and do. Teaching is an action, and we will remember easily in the examination hall whatever was explained in depth with examples, with simplification to a companion struggling in your class. A student during an evaluation meeting after the university results were published said, "I failed because the answer sheet was not properly corrected by the teacher." And the student herself admitted that her handwriting was extremely poor. Handwriting has a significant bearing on the marks scored. Several students are good at studies. They are able to remember whatever is studied, but they are not able to write neatly, legibly, clearly. What's the natural consequence of a paper that is shabbily written? A paper that carries answers which are not readable. The examiner, who does not know you, who is of another school, of another college, will not know about your intellectual capacity. First impression is the best impression. The handwriting is the primary yardstick for an examiner to make a judgment on the quality of the answers. How is as important as what? Both form and matter are equally important. It is not enough to know the answer. You should also master the art of how, the art of presentation. If you are unbothered about your handwriting, you are risking your performance. And for the understanding of students who have bad handwriting, it is not an inborn talent. Handwriting can be improved with your own daily personal effort. While explaining to you about these scientific methods in preparation for the examination, you will come to a sweeping judgment. It is difficult. It is burdensome. It is tough. It is a time-consuming affair. If you wish to be scientific in your preparation for the examination, you need to have passion. The formula for success is very simple. The formula for success is aspiration plus perspiration plus inspiration. Aspiration. You need to have a dream. You need to have a goal. You need to have a target. It was Abdul Kalam who gave the best definition for a dream. A dream is not what you see while you are asleep. A dream is what that does not let you sleep. Stephen Covey, in one of his bestseller books, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the first secret of success that he describes, that he recommends is begin with the end in mind. You need to have a target. It is not enough to have a target. You need to perspire. You need to do hard work. You need to be a person of diligence. You need to have perseverance, persistence. Stephen Covey adds another principle together with the begin with the end in mind. Put first things first. If you have passion, if you have a dream, you have a moral obligation to ensure that you are willing for sacrifices. You need to reduce the normal hours of sleep. You need to give up some of the enjoyments that all the others have. Because you should be a person led by delayed gratification, not instant gratification. And the third part, inspiration. You need blessings from God. Even if you are fully prepared for the examination, it's enough that you fall sick. You cannot perform. You may have an accident. You cannot write the examination. So you need to pray to God. You need to depend on God and seek God's blessings for your mental health, for your emotional well-being, for concentration, for memory, for precision in answers. Need to pray for the examiners who are going to evaluate your answer sheet, that you may score the marks you deserve. I find in general several students actively engaged in prayer during the days of examination, during the days of study leave, spending time in church, spending time in temple, mosque, in prayer centers. I remember the story of a young man who has been praying to God, begging God to bless him with winning a lottery ticket. God appeared to him and told him, "You have been praying to me for long for the grace to win a lottery. But dear friend, I am helpless because you have not bought a lottery ticket. If you buy a lottery ticket, I can help you. I can bless you to win the lottery." So it is not enough to have a dream. It is not enough to have a target. You need to work. God will help only those who help themselves. So dear friends, examination preparation should be made scientific. You can score marks. You can secure the best grade that you can when you are a passionate student, when you are thorough with the syllabus, when you have prepared notes in depth, when you have with you short notes, when you have regular periodic recall test, when you normally have self-test in your own study room after having studied a chapter, after having studied a theorem. You can have the best performance when you teach someone what you have studied. When you follow this process, self-confidence will be part of you. You will be empowered to perform best in the university examinations. And when results are published, you will have a sense of pride. You will be the center of attraction. You will be the pride of your family. You will be the pride of the institution that you are part of. I wish you best of success. We'll see you again for another enlightening, empowering talk in the next episode.